Hello and welcome to our video learning series. My name is Katie Bentz and I am an education consultant for the Watson Institute. I will be guiding you through this video, which gives viewers an overview of just what exactly social and emotional learning is and how it relates to early childhood education. This particular video is brought to you through the collaboration and generous support of the Grable Foundation and of the Birmingham Foundation. In this video series, we will explore topics as they relate to social and emotional learning in early childhood education. Included with this video are references, links to helpful resources, and a QR code that will lead you to our website where you can search for curated information related to topics in special education and sign up to receive weekly learning tips delivered directly to your inbox. We know that your time is precious, and we sincerely thank you for taking the moment to watch and learn and for all you do to support children and families. And with that, let's get started. We hope that after viewing, you will feel confident being able to define just exactly what social and emotional learning is, identify 3 reasons for implementing social and emotional learning in your setting, and identify the 5 key components for social and emotional learning as identified by the Castle organization. So let's get started. What is social and emotional learning? Social emotional learning is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. Essentially, social and emotional learning is an integral part of education and human development, and young people need our support to model and foster these skills. So, why is it important? Early social and emotional skills are related to how socially, emotionally, academically, and professionally skilled we are later in life. For example, having higher social and emotional skills in kindergarten is related to important outcomes at age 25. Some of these outcomes include educational success, such as completing a college degree, career success, such as an increased likelihood of being employed, and other key life outcomes, such as being less likely to have problems with the police. Social and emotional skills help children to persist on challenging tasks, to effectively seek help when they need it, and to be thoughtful in their actions. These are just some benefits of social and emotional instruction that are highlighted through research studies that are listed on our sources cited page at the end of this video. In the area of academic benefits, one study found that students who received social and emotional learning scored 11% higher overall than those who did not. Another study found that students who had received social and emotional learning showed improvements in grades, test scores, attendance, and homework completion. In the area of long term success, one study found that social and emotional skills also directly correlate with high school graduation, post secondary enrollment, post secondary graduation, and stable full time employment. Finally, looking through the lens of cost benefit, one study found that for every dollar spent on social and emotional learning, $11 was returned to the school in savings that would have otherwise been spent on mitigations related to behaviors associated with lacking social and emotional skills. These studies and others make it clear that building the social and emotional skills of our students has far reaching benefits. CASTLE stands for the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning and is a leader in the field on this topic. According to CASTLE, there are 5 core competencies in social and emotional learning: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. In the following slides, we will explore each competency more closely. Building self awareness is the most important first step in developing social and emotional skills, and it is just as important for adults as it is for children to cultivate and continuously work on this skill. Self-awareness is the foundation of social and emotional growth. Recognizing emotions helps us to identify and label feelings accurately so we can respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Helps us to regulate emotions. Self awareness is the first step to managing feelings constructively, building resilience, and maintaining positive interactions. Helps us to understand our triggers. By knowing what sparks certain emotions, we can manage them better. For example, using coping strategies when stress makes us irritable. Building empathy. Understanding our own emotions helps us recognize and respect the emotions of others, strengthening relationships. Improving communication. With greater awareness of how our words and actions affect others, we can listen actively, adjust our behavior, and express ourselves more effectively. Growing confidence and self respect. Awareness of our strengths and areas for growth builds healthier self esteem and a stronger sense of purpose. Ultimately, self awareness equips us to understand our emotional world, laying the groundwork for empathy, regulation, communication, and thriving socially and emotionally. The next core competency is self management, a key part of SEL that empowers us to regulate emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. Self awareness and self management go hand in hand as managing ourselves begins with understanding our emotions and reactions. Why self management matters. Emotional regulation helps us manage feelings in difficult situations, maintain relationships, and handle stress or conflict. Goal setting and perseverance builds focus, discipline, and persistence towards long term goals despite setbacks. Impulse control encourages thoughtful decisions, reduces regrettable actions, and promotes respect for others. Resilience strengthens our ability to bounce back, adapt, and stay motivated in the face of adversity. Positive relationships supports respectful, empathetic interactions that foster healthy social connections. In short, self management rooted in self awareness lays the foundation for communication, conflict resolution, resilience, and overall emotional well being. Next, we will discuss the core competency of social awareness. Social awareness is a core SEL competency that helps us understand and empathize with others' perspectives, emotions, and experiences. It fosters positive relationships, communication, and inclusivity. Here's why it matters. Empathy. Recognizing others' feelings allows us to respond with compassion. Respect for diversity. Appreciating different cultures, backgrounds, and viewpoints reduces bias and fosters acceptance. Stronger relationships. Awareness of others' needs strengthens trust, collaboration, and support systems. By building social awareness, we can navigate social dynamics more effectively and create a more empathetic, inclusive environment. Next, we will examine relationship skills. Relationship skills are a core SEL competency because they help us build and maintain positive, healthy connections, essential for success in school, work, and personal life. Why they matter. Collaboration, cooperation, compromise, and respect help us work towards shared goals. Communication, clear expression, and empathetic listening foster open dialogue and reduce conflict. Conflict resolution. Managing disagreements constructively builds trust, stability, and supportive relationships. Empathy. Sensitivity to others' emotions deepens connection, kindness, and support, empowering us to help and advocate for others. Strong relationship skills create a supportive, inclusive environment where everyone can learn, grow, and thrive. Next, we will explore responsible decision making. Responsible decision making is a key SEL competency because it involves making choices that are healthy, respectful, and aligned with personal and social values. Here's why it matters. Problem solving. encourages thoughtful approaches to challenges, considering both short and long term consequences. Awareness of impact promotes reflection on how actions affect ourselves and others, leading to better choices. Accountability builds responsibility and ownership, fostering personal growth and healthier relationships. Social harmony. Decisions made with others in mind strengthen trust, empathy, and cooperation. In short, responsible decision making supports well being, strong relationships, and social responsibility, key goals of SEL. Next, we'll look at environments where SEL can take place. Castle has identified important settings where social and emotional skills are developed: classrooms, schools, through connections with families and caregivers, and through community engagement. This is another reason why it is vitally important for the adults in children's lives to develop their own social and emotional skills, as we have a direct impact on the interactions that happen in these contexts. The first key setting that we will discuss is the classroom. Students spend the majority of their day in classrooms, and these spaces are at the heart of the learning process. In classrooms, students can learn and practice SEL through explicit instruction, trusting relationships, and academic integration. And developing trusting relationships in the classroom is at the very core of this process. The next key setting to develop social and emotional skills is through the greater school-wide community. In partnership with families and communities, schools play a central role in supporting young people's social and emotional development. From the cafeteria to the hallway to the playground, students have opportunities to practice and reinforce SEL. The next key setting involves family and caregivers. Families are children's first teachers and essential to promoting SEL. This is yet another reason why it is critical for adults to sharpen their own social and emotional skills. When educators and families work together, they can build strong connections with each other that reinforce social and emotional skills for the children. The final key setting to facilitate social and emotional learning is through the community. Community organizations play a key role partnering with schools and families to extend the experience of SEL through trusting relationships and enriching out of school time experiences. Students thrive when they're supported by a network of adults working together. So, how can adults help? Number one, be a good emotional role model. Children model their behavior from people they admire, such as their parents and teachers. When a caregiver models a variety of emotions and coping strategies to manage their own emotions, children learn appropriate ways to react in similar circumstances. Be an emotion coach. Accept and talk about children's emotions. It's also useful to teach children how to label emotions, cope with and problem solve emotions, and appropriately express emotions. Emotion coaching is associated with greater emotion regulation and adaptive behaviors, as well as lower levels of disruptive behaviors. Read books with social and emotional plots. Reading books can provide opportunities to learn and discuss social and emotional topics such as turn taking and cooperation. Asking children to label and explain the emotions of the characters in the story helps them learn a variety of emotions. Give choices. Providing children with choices and the independence to make them are linked to higher levels of social and emotional learning. A parent child relationship that involves working together to solve problems teaches children how to negotiate and solve problems with their teachers and improve social skills with their peers. Use positive discipline strategies, setting rules and expectations for behavior, giving warnings of potential consequences, offering praise and incentives for positive behaviors, and ignoring unwanted behaviors are associated with higher levels of social and emotional skills. When adults and children spend time building awareness and cultivating social and emotional skills, we can expect better outcomes for all across all domains of life. We hope this video has increased your understanding of just what exactly social and emotional learning is and why it is so important. These websites and resources will be linked. We hope they are helpful. Thank you again for taking the time to learn more about this important topic. Scan the QR code to receive weekly learning tips delivered right to your inbox. And don't forget to visit our website, www.thewatsoninstitute.org, or connect with us through Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X for more information. And thank you for all you do for the children and families in your lives.